moment the decision to break the bond turns from thought into action. Every breaking point starts as a whisper, not a scream, not a dramatic goodbye, a whisper that says, enough. Before anything changes on the outside, something shifts deep inside. It's not rage, it's not revenge. It's a kind of stillness that almost scares you. Because for the first time you stop negotiating with reality. You stop asking the same questions hoping for a different answer. You stop rehearsing their lines. The performance ends and the first cut is made. This cut isn't visible. You don't announce it. You don't post quotes. You don't text speeches. It happens in silence between heartbeat and breath. It's the moment you stop participating in your own emotional captivity. People talk about moving on like it's a grand event, but it starts with a single decision: to stop being the only one holding the rope. You've been pulling, adjusting, convincing, interpreting, carrying the weight of a bond the other person dropped long ago, and suddenly you let the rope fall. Not out of weakness, but because you're done pretending it's a tug-of-war when the other side has been empty all along. This is strategic silence in its purest form, not the silence of waiting, the silence of decision. A calm, calculated pause that no longer seeks answers. It doesn't chase explanations, it simply stops performing. Picture someone standing at a locked door, knocking day after day. The knocking turns to tapping, then to whispers through the crack, until one day, they just look at the door and quietly turn around. That turning point is the first cut. No announcement, no closure, just clarity. This is where Stoicism stops being theory and becomes a weapon. Because this decision isn't emotional, it's strategic. A conscious refusal to keep feeding a loop that only hurts you. It's not about winning against them, it's about not losing yourself anymore. And here's what most people miss. You don't need their apology to make this cut. You don't need their explanation, you don't even need their presence. The cut happens the moment you decide their silence no longer deserves your obsession. Their inconsistency no longer deserves your analysis. Their absence no longer deserves your loyalty. This moment is quiet, but seismic. Because every tie you've built is psychological. When you stop attaching meaning to their behavior, the bond begins to fray. You reclaim the emotional energy you've been pouring into an empty vessel. That's emotional control at its highest form, not suppression, but redirection. But let's be honest, the first cut hurts. Even if they've ignored you, even if you know it's right, a part of you is terrified to stop. Because stopping means facing silence head-on,